97 minutes left.
7? Chicago.
It's not boring for you? Is it boring for you?
No, it's great.
Okay, good. ça.
Non?
Yeah. No, this is all done now.
Ya solo lo de la grabación.
Pompey,
Processional.
Pompey, Qatar, America. Pause.
This processional will be long.
Your Excellency, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani, Your Excellencies, Interim President Robert Groves, members of the faculty and staff, members of the Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service class of 2025, and members of the Executive Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs class of 2025. Welcome to the commencement exercises of Georgetown University in Qatar. Please remain standing for the national anthems of the State of Qatar and the United States of America. Please be seated. The invocation will be offered by Muhammad Hannoun, class of 2025.
السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى إن إلى ربك الرجعى. In the name of Allah, most merciful and compassionate, recite in the name of your Lord who created man from a clinging substance. Recite, and your Lord the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man that which he knew not. No, but indeed man transgresses, because he sees himself self-sufficient. Indeed, to your Lord is the return. Many members of this community have relatives, friends, colleagues, and fellow countrymen and women who continue to be claimed or displaced by war. We ask that everyone please observe a moment of silence as we reflect on and pray for a lasting peace.
Thank you, Muhammad. Today, 110 graduates representing 37 nationalities will receive their undergraduate degrees in foreign service. We are also celebrating the 20 graduates of our Executive Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs program. It is to them and to the times that I turn now. Italian philosopher Antonio Gramsci, writing nearly a century ago in a world teetering on collapse, observed, "The crisis consists precisely in the fact that the old is dying and the new cannot be born." In this interregnum, a great variety of morbid symptoms appear, end quote. His words linger with chilling precision in 2025. Beyond the ribbons and pageantry of this afternoon lies the gnarled terrain of the present. The relentless genocidal war on Gaza, the obliteration of its infrastructure, the displacement of its people, the ethnic cleansing unfolding in plain sight in the West Bank, and the brutal torment of the Palestinian people for nearly a century stains the conscience of our time. Conflict tears through Yemen, Sudan, Ukraine, and beyond, destroying lives and dismantling nations. The great architecture of the last century, treaties, tribunals, multilateral norms, unravels before our very eyes. And yet, a threshold is never only morbid. It is also a place of friction, of momentum, a precipice alive with unclaimed futures. This moment, class of 2025, pulses with the energy of your resolve. The old recedes, the unknown stirs, and in you, the conditions for birth begin to take shape. But the new will not deliver itself. It must be midwifed by hands like yours, hearts like yours. This interregnum belongs to those who defy despair, who refuse decay, who build patiently and ferociously an architecture of hope and justice. At Georgetown University in Qatar, you were trained for this confrontation with the world as it is, so you could then reimagine what it should be. You studied under faculty whose ideas move the currents of global thought, and learned from distinguished scholars, diplomats, artists, and writers, whose residencies make the stakes feel real. You plunged into programs that unstitched and restitched your sense of what is possible. You stepped into classrooms and crisis zones where theory became praxis, into Hiwarat conferences where words wrestled with the world's wounds. And more than that, you learned at the heart of the Global South. You encountered the realities and aspirations of a region so often spoken about and so rarely spoken with. You grappled with diplomacy and cooperation in a region where they are tested daily. That rigorous education, rooted in proximity, in dialogue across cultures and religions, has already distinguished our alumni, and now it distinguishes you. Here too, you absorbed something less visible, but no less vital, the inheritance of values. The Jesuit ideal of people for others and the Islamic ideal of duty anchor this institution. And education finds its worth only when it bends towards service. Some of you will hammer out peace in war rooms. Some will rebuild broken schools, hospitals, and courts. Others will exert influence in ways still unimagined. Whatever your craft, wield it with a moral clarity that does not flinch. If you seek an example of how to lead through thresholds, turn your gaze to Pope Francis, may he rest in peace, the first Jesuit pope in history. His pontificate was defined by service to the forgotten, by a tender solidarity with those crushed under the weight of injustice. In his final months, Pope Francis made near nightly calls to the Holy Family Church, Gaza's only Catholic parish, where Christians and Muslims sheltered together under siege. And in one of his final acts, he offered his Pope Mobile, the same one he rode through occupied Bethlehem, to be transformed into a clinic for Gaza's injured and malnourished children. If courage defines a life, it can also define a nation. For that, look no further than Qatar. It is no accident that today we are joined by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, a statesman who runs towards the world's fires, not away from them. Qatar has made it its vocation to step into spaces others fear, to broker peace, open dialogue, and rescue the nearly lost. While cynics mutter and warmongers gnash their teeth, our host country sets the table and salvages hope. That His Excellency joins us as commencement speaker in a year that marks both our 20th anniversary and the renewal of our partnership with Qatar Foundation speaks to how deeply our roots have taken hold in Qatar and how much further we intend to grow. This year brings the convergence of milestones. 20 years since GUQ's founding, and 30 years since Qatar Foundation dared to imagine what may be the most ambitious educational ecosystem in the world. How fitting, then, that as you step forward, the institutions that shape you do the same. As our partnership enters a new era, a renaissance has begun, one defined by deeper collaborations with Washington, D.C., greater engagement across the Qatar Foundation ecosystem, and more broadly, with the people of Qatar, and new programs designed for the demands of a generation unlike any other. What began as an audacious experiment now accelerates, propelling us toward new heights of preeminence. To Her Highness Sheikh Moza bint Nasser and Her Excellency Sheikh Hind bint Hamad Al Thani, we owe a debt of gratitude beyond measure. Their belief in education has built institutions and transformed lives, including every life here today. Class of 2025, now it is your turn. You stand at the edge of everything this moment demands. Before you, a door opening onto flames. How will you respond? Will you retreat into safety? Or will you sprint across the threshold into the fire? I know what you are capable of. When Pulitzer Prize-winning author Hisham Matar visited us last term, he asked, What does the obstacle want? I instantly thought of you because I have seen the answer again and again in this community. I have seen the tenderness with which you carry the burdens of others, the tenacity with which you wrestle injustice, the brilliance with which you crack open difficult truths. Every late night, every act of defiance against despair was rehearsal for now. The alarms are blurring. Justice, war, genocide, displacement, climate, truth. You cannot mute them, you cannot wish them away, but you can respond. If enough of you do, the infernos of our time will abate, and from their embers, a new world will rise. And to our MDiA graduates, this moment calls on you just as fiercely. You were each carefully selected by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Georgetown's Institute for the Study of Diplomacy to join our Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs. You carried full responsibilities at work, at home, in service to your country while pursuing this degree. The demands were relentless, but so was your resolve. I salute you, and I salute those who stood by you, your government, your families, your colleagues. Class of 2025, I hope you are as proud of yourselves as we are of you. Thank you for enriching our lives, expanding our minds, and opening our hearts. Now, you ascend into the ever-expanding constellation of Georgetown and Qatar Foundation alumni, whose journeys, like yours, began right here in Education City. This moment belongs to you, and so will the world you forge beyond it. Congratulations, and Hoya Saksa. Now, on behalf of this institution's faculty and administrative leadership, we are immensely grateful and honored to see Georgetown's legacy of providing education that positively impacts the world in each of you. It is a legacy that was forged 236 years ago, in 1789, when our founder, the Most Reverend John Carroll, first Catholic bishop in the United States, took legal possession of land on the hilltop in Washington, D.C., an occasion we mark as our founding date. Our first student, the future North Carolina Congressman William Gaston, arrived in 1791, though our first bachelor's degrees were not awarded until 1817. It was in 1814 that, with enrollment passing the 100 mark, the college's president, Father John Grass of the Society of Jesus, asked then Congressman Gaston to present a petition for a federal charter, a document that still today sanctions the academic business that we do here. Because the members of the Georgetown University community revere this history, it is our custom to begin academic ceremonies with a reading of that charter. To discharge that office, I am pleased to introduce Ms. Marie Matson, Secretary of the University.
An act concerning the College of Georgetown in the District of Columbia. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that it shall and be lawful for such persons as now are, or from time to time may be, the president and directors of the College of Georgetown within the District of Columbia, to admit any of the students belonging to said college or other persons meriting academical honors to any degree in the faculties, arts, sciences, and liberal professions to which persons are usually admitted to other colleges and universities of the United States, and to ensure in an appropriate form the diplomas or certificates which may be requisite to testify to the admission to such degree. Signed, Langdon Chivas, Speaker of the House of Representatives, John Gaillard, President pro tempore of the Senate, approved March 1st, 1815, James Madison, President of the United States.
Thank you, Marie. It is now my distinct honor to welcome His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, Prime Minister. Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Qatar as our 2025 commencement speaker. I had a lot of wonderful things to say about you, Your Excellency, but since you are here, I will cede the podium to you. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. First, I would like to apologize that I will be speaking in Arabic. I don't want to set, the wrong example for our fellow graduate and being in Qatar and speaking in English. So please allow me. Thank you. السيد روبرت جروفز الرئيس المؤقت لجامعة جورج تاون، السيد صفوان مصري عميد جامعة جورج تاون قطر، الخريجون والخريجات، الحضور الكريم، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدني أن أشارككم هذا المساء مناسبة تجسد ما نؤمن به في دولة قطر، أن التعليم الجاد هو حجر الأساس في إعداد الأفراد القادرين على المساهمة الفاعلة في استقرار العالم وتنميته. فهذا اللقاء لا يمثل لحظة احتفال أكاديمية فحسب، بل يجسد أيضاً رؤيتنا الوطنية في الاستثمار في الإنسان باعتباره أعلى قيمة وأثمن مورد. ويزداد هذا المعنى عمقاً ونحن نحتفل اليوم بمرور 20 عاماً على تأسيس جامعة جورج تاون في قطر، بالتزامن مع الذكرى 30 لتأسيس مؤسسة قطر، في شهادة حية على الإيمان الراسخ بأن الاستثمار في الإنسان هو الطريق إلى بناء مجتمعات مستقرة ومنتجة، وأن بناء المستقبل يبدأ من الحرم الجامعي ويمتد إلى ساعات العمل وصناعة القرار. السيدات والسادة، تواجه منطقتنا والعالم اليوم مستويات غير مسبوقة من التحديات، وتمتد من النزاعات المسلحة إلى أزمات الغذاء والمناخ والتوترات الجيوسياسية. وفي هذا السياق حرصت دولة قطر على أن تظل شريكاً موثوقاً في جهود إحلال الأمن والاستقرار، وعلى أن توازن بين دبلوماسية الوساطة والسياسات التنموية طويلة المدى. ونستلهم في كل خطواتنا رؤية حضرة صاحب السمو الشيخ تميم بن حمد آل ثاني أمير البلاد المفدى، التي تضع التعليم والتمكين في صميم المشروع التنموي للدولة، وتؤمن بدورهما المحوري في ترسيخ الأمن والاستقرار ودفع عجلة النمو. وانطلاقاً من هذا الإيمان تتعامل حكومة دولة قطر مع التعليم العالي كخيار استراتيجي لتحقيق رؤية قطر الوطنية 2030، وبناء اقتصاد متنوع ومستدام قائم على المعرفة. ومن هذا المنطلق نحرص على إقامة شراكات أكاديمية نوعية تسهم في تخريج كفاءات وطنية متميزة، وتعزز مكانة قطر كمركز إقليمي رائد في مجالات المعرفة والابتكار. ونؤمن أن العلم منارة يستهدي بها الجميع، لكن الفرق يكمن في طريقة توظيف تلك المعرفة في سبيل تحقيق الأثر المنشود. لذلك فإننا ننظر إلى الشراكات الأكاديمية النوعية مثل شراكتنا مع جامعة جورج تاون على أنها جسور تمتد من الحاضر إلى المستقبل ومن المحلية إلى العالمية. إنها ليست مجرد اتفاقيات، بل التزام متبادل بصناعة الأثر الإيجابي في العالم. كما أشيد ببرنامج الماجستير التنفيذي في الدبلوماسية والشؤون الدولية الذي صمم خصيصاً لتأهيل كوادر قطرية دبلوماسية قادرة على الربط بين المعرفة الأكاديمية ومهارات العمل في مجال السياسة الدولية، وهو مثال حي على التكامل بين الاحتياجات الوطنية والخبرة الأكاديمية العالمية، بما ينعكس مباشرة على أداء مؤسسات الدولة داخلياً وخارجياً. الخريجون والخريجات، أنتم اليوم تقفون على أعتاب مرحلة جديدة لا تقتصر على الانتقال من قاعات الدراسة إلى فضاءات العمل، بل تتطلب منكم أن تكونوا شركاء في بناء عالم أكثر عدلاً وفهماً وتواصلاً. لقد منحكم هذا الصرح الأكاديمي أدوات التحليل ومنهجية التفكير النقدي ومهارات الانخراط في عالم متعدد الأصوات والتحديات. واسمحوا لي، منذ سنوات كنت في موقعكم أحمل ذات الحماس وذات الأسئلة الوجودية وذات الطموح اللامحدود. ظننت حينها أن الطريق واضح والحقائق ثابتة، لكن مع الوقت أدركت أن الحياة أكثر تعقيداً من أي معادلة أكاديمية، وتعلمت أن الثبات على المبادئ لا يعني الجمود، وأن التوازن بين الحلم والواقع هو مفتاح الاستمرار. قد تصادفون إحباطاً أو لحظات شك أو شعوراً بأن الطريق أطول مما توقعتم. لا تخافوا من تلك اللحظات، فهي التي تنضج الرؤية وتصقل الشخصية وتميز القائد عن المألوف. أوصيكم اليوم بخشية الله في ضمائركم، وأن يكون نبراسكم خدمة البلاد والعباد، وأن تحافظوا على إيمانكم بأنفسكم، ولا تتنازلوا عن شغفكم أو تسمحوا للضغوط أن تطفئ روح الأمل فيكم. أنتم الجيل الذي نعول عليه لصياغة رؤى جديدة وصناعة أثر حقيقي. تذكروا أن الوطن والقيادة تقف خلفكم بثقة، وأنكم لا تتجهون لوظائف فقط، بل إلى مواقع يصنع فيها القرار وتبنى فيها الجسور، وفي زمن تتسارع فيه التحولات وتتعمق فيه الأزمات، من مأساة غزة إلى التوترات الإقليمية. تؤكد قطر التزامها الدائم بالوساطة والدبلوماسية كسبيل لحماية المدنيين ودفع الحلول السياسية، وقد أثبتت أن الحوار بديل فعال للنزاع، وأن المصداقية تبنى بالفعل المتواصل، وأنتم اليوم جزء من هذا المسار. جيل يؤمن بالمعرفة ويعمل من أجل التغيير المسؤول. السيدات والسادة، نفخر اليوم بوجود خريجين من أكثر من 40 جنسية في تجسيد لالتزامنا بالتعليم العابر للثقافات وخلق بيئة أكاديمية شاملة. ونحتفل أيضاً بوصول عدد خريجي الجامعة في قطر إلى 1000، في إنجاز يعكس تراكماً نوعياً في بناء رأس المال البشري الذي نعده أولوية تنموية، وندعو إلى استثماره في مبادرات تخدم أولوياتنا الوطنية وتعزز تفاعلنا المسؤول مع العالم. وفي الختام أهنئكم وأهنئ عائلاتكم على هذا الإنجاز الذي نستحضره اليوم، ليس فقط كنجاح أكاديمي، بل كدلالة على جاهزيتكم للمشاركة في بناء المستقبل. أنتم لا تمثلون نجاحات فردية، بل أنتم جزء من مشروع وطني أكبر يؤمن بأن الإنسان هو الاستثمار الأهم، وأن بناء المستقبل يبدأ بعقول مؤهلة وضمائر واعية. حافظوا على شغفكم بالمعرفة وعلى استعدادكم لتحمل المسؤولية، ووفقكم الله وسدد خطاكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Your Excellency, thank you. Thank you for joining us today and for delivering a message that speaks with urgency to the present moment and with conviction to the enduring ideals you have long championed. Please join me again in thanking His Excellency for this truly I'm going to go off script a little bit just to underscore how significant this moment is for us. 20 years since this audacious experiment started, since this promise was made, celebrating it just this spring, and signing on for another 10 years, which we hope is just the beginning of a new chapter. The punctuation mark that having Your Excellency deliver this commencement speech to our graduates is really the icing on the cake. It really gives us tremendous honor and tremendous privilege. Thank you so much. To the graduates, what I take from His Excellency's words is that they reflect a life committed to justice, to the dignity of all people, to the power of leadership grounded in clarity and care. These principles carry special meaning for all of you. You now cross the threshold with hearts and minds stirred by His Excellency's call. As a gesture of our deep respect and an appreciation for Your Excellency's presence with us today, we would be honored if you would accept a modest gift that President Groves will present on behalf of all of us at GUQ. We come now to the conferral of degrees. We are proud to confer both the Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service and the Executive Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs degrees. Joseph Hernandez, Assistant Dean for Admissions and Strategic Enrollment Management, he is the one who let you in, so it's only appropriate that he allows you on the exit gate. He will call the names of the degree candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service. The candidates will be called in alphabetical order immediately after we recognize the student who received the highest scholastic average. Where candidates have achieved Latin honors from cum laude with distinction up to summa cum laude with highest distinction, this will be noted before their name. Similarly, those inducted into Alpha Sigma Nu, the Honor Society of Jesuit Colleges and Universities, or Phi Beta Kappa, the oldest academic honor society in the United States, will have that society mentioned before their name. Professors Sara Gautieri and Yusuf Haddad will hood the graduates. Each candidate will come forward to receive the diploma and to be congratulated.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service, graduating summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Phi Beta Kappa, Dima Al-Hashimi. Graduating summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Phi Beta Kappa, Hala Iyad Hudayb. Nagla Ahmed Abdul Hadi. Ola Magdi Abdul Rahman. Azamat Abdurrahmanov. Filman Habtum Abraha. Sarah Shaimat Aidarus. Thank you. Lolwa Al-Amri. Amira Shafiq Al-Aswadi. Moza Fahed Al-Atiyya. Lujain Fatiq Al-Balushi. Hind Abdurrahman Al-Delaimi. Graduating magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, Rokhaya Hussein Al-Dubashi. Aisha Nasir Al-Fadalla. Dima Ali Al-Hail. Sarah Muhammad Al-Hatu. Hissa Khalid Al-Hitmi. Muhammad Abdurrahman Al-Hitmi. Latifa Mishal Al-Hitmi. Rashid Ali Al-Humaidi. Al-Ghalia Muhammad Al-Jahni. Sheikha Ibrahim Al-Jaida. Dabia Nasir Ibrahim Al-Malki Al-Jihani. Aisha Saeed Al-Kabi. Maya Tamim Al-Kawari. Khalid Jassim Al-Kawari. Graduating cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Rinad Khalifa Nasir Al-Khalifa. Ghanem Rashid Hussein Al-Hussein Al-Kubaisi. Aldana Ahmed Mohammed Jassim Al-Kuwari. Abdulaziz Ghanem Al-Kuwari. Wad Nasir Al-Ali Al-Madid. Muhammad Ali Abdul Latif Al Misnad. Hind Mubarak Al Mahnadi. Rotha Abdullah Al Nama. Latifa Mhanna Al Naimi. Al Ghalia Salman Al Nama. Shahid Al Qasabi. Maitha Khalid Al Shraim. Moza Abdullah Fahid Al Thani. Hind Nasir Al Thani. Al Johara Khalifa Ali Al Thani. Graduating cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Moza Faisal Fahid Al Thani. Graduating magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Raed Assad. Amna Asim. Graduating cum laude, Ali Ashraf Atiyah. Francis Joy Balani. Muhammad Ali Irshad Bakri. Anastasia Berseneva. Graduating magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, John Carlos Burog. Graduating magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, Elene Chikhedze. Salma Ahmed Darwish. Graduating magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Mariam Daoud. Graduating cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Maheen Elahi. Samantha Isabel Fakun. Ibrahim Jassim Ibrahim Qasim Fakhru. Fatima Hassan Fakhri. Graduating cum laude, Zain Fanik. Natalie Fanik. Graduating cum laude, Arisha Fatma. Alana Felix. Michelle Siabonga Ketiwe Hadebe. Graduating magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Phi Beta Kappa, Abdul Hanan. Muhammad Ahmed Ali Ahmed Hanoun. Aya Ahmed Sadiq Hassan. Muhammad Yusuf Jaski. Ulukbek Kaziev. Riwaj Khatiwada. Jamolbi Kushkadamova. Rita Larusi. Graduating summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, Kiyun Lee. Junyang Liu. Lashamta Wangui Maina. Muhammad Ahmed Mansour. Abdullah bin Masood. Rawan Saeed Ahmed Muhammad. Aya Elias Muhammad. Yasin Muhammad. Hafsa Najdan. Emilia Pacheco de la Rea. Yasmina Hussam Kush. Hafsa Rahman. Angelica Balmadrid Reyes. Sahra Riaz. Santiago Rubio Henao. Zahra Hassan Saburzadeh. Shadi Ismat Safar. Mishgona Said Valieva. Tala Salim. Alexander Fabian Zandner. Maya Sakar. Rafal Fadi Sarut. Graduating cum laude, Jude Sheikh. Adey Shunushev. Graduating magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Phi Beta Kappa, Sargis Simonian. Safia Suleiman. Humayun Suyunov. Beyonce Teta. Zarniso Tolipshoivas Musaloivna. Abdullah Khalid Tabaila. Graduating cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Obaid Allah. Muhammad Ali Usraf. Graduating cum laude, Alpha Sigma Nu, Brian Cody Wibowo. Graduating magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, Yishi Yang. Maleha Zahra.
It is now my great pleasure to formally present the candidates to Robert Groves, Interim President of Georgetown University, who will confer the degrees. Candidates, you're still candidates, for the Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service, please stand. Interim President Groves, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service. These students have been duly examined and recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Directors. I therefore ask that you bestow on them the degrees in course.
Are you ready? By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon the aforementioned candidates the degree of Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service.
It says here, candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service, please be seated. But I think I can now say, alumni of Georgetown University in Qatar, please be seated. And now for the conferral of the degree of Executive Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs. Joseph Hernandez, Assistant Dean for Admissions and Strategic Enrollment, will read the names of the degree candidates.
The students who are called first in their class year are being honored for leading by example through their high academic achievement, commitment to the pursuit of knowledge, and ability to motivate themselves and others. Each candidate will come forward to receive the diploma and to be congratulated. Abdulaziz Abdullah Ahmed Al-Thani. Al-Jazi Al-Ali. Mariam Misfer Mohammed Al-Hababi. Munira Yaqub Ibrahim Al-Hail. Al-Jazi Hamid Ali Al-Hedfa. Al-Anud Muhammad Rashid Adzamul Al-Kuwari. Majid Sultan Al-Ghanem Al-Madhi. Al-Anud Saud Abdullah Al-Mahmoud. Aldana Faisal Abdullah Al-Mahmoud. Sana Ibrahim Ali Ibrahim Al-Malki. Asma Ahmad Saad Al-Hassan Al-Mohanadi. Muhammad Rashid Salim Al-Amr Al-Muhayza. Yusuf Ali Al-Mullah. Rashid Sultan Al-Naimi. Al-Reem Majid Al-Suwaidi. Maha Talal Abdurrahman bin Hood Al-Sulaiti. Jasim Faisal Jasim Al-Ahmad Al-Thani. Munira Isa Thamir Isa Al-Thani. Munira Muhammad Al-Thani. Rashid Salim Salim Mjgihir.
I will now formally present the candidates for the Executive Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs to Georgetown University Interim President Groves, who will confer the degrees. Candidates, please stand. Those are you in a few years. Interim President Groves, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the degree of Executive Master in Diplomacy and International Affairs. These students have been duly examined and recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Directors. I therefore ask that you bestow on them the degrees in course.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon the aforementioned candidates the degree of Executive Masters in Diplomacy and International Affairs. Congratulations.
Now, many of those who have just had their bachelor's and master's degrees conferred will one day go on to pursue the highest degree in university, the doctorate. For the first time in Georgetown University in Qatar's history, we celebrate the accomplishment of one of our Washington, D.C. doctoral fellows who, during his time in Qatar, attained this high degree. João Sodré joined us this year. João joined us this year as one of 4 doctoral candidates from the Washington, D.C. campus participating in our inaugural doctoral fellowship program. He earned his PhD in history with a dissertation titled The Last Years of Brazil's Military Dictatorship, Identities, Repression, and the Shaping of a New Democracy, 1970s to 1980s. And he was awarded the Dr. Karen Gale Exceptional PhD Student Award, one of Georgetown's highest honors for doctoral candidates. To mark this extraordinary milestone, we turn to tradition, the ceremonial hooding, a symbolic rite that formally welcomes a scholar into the academy. Joao's mentor, Professor Brian McCann, could not join us today. Stepping in on his behalf is Associate Professor Phoebe Musandu. Chair of the International Graduates, you richly deserve the congratulations you have just received. Graduates, your achievement reflects well not just on you, but on your families and the entire community. Let me now ask you to do something that is so critically important. Please stand up and face your friends, your families, and your loved ones, and give them a round of applause for all of their support. Please be seated. It is now my immense privilege and pleasure to formally present Dr. Robert Groves, Interim President of Georgetown University, who will offer closing reflections.
Good afternoon. It is a privilege to be with all of you today in this wonderful event. To our class of 2025, congratulations with all my heart. All of your hard work, the challenges you have overcome, your accomplishments, everything you've done at Georgetown has brought you to this very moment. This is your moment. We're honored to celebrate this milestone with you and your families, with our colleagues and members of the Georgetown community, and with many distinguished guests. Let me offer a special word of welcome to Your Excellencies, our commencement speaker this afternoon, Your Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim Al Thani, Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, who gave us such an insight into the role of higher education throughout the world. Thank you. I want to thank our partners at the Qatar Foundation, without whom nothing would appear today. Thank you all for your presence. As Dean Masri has said, for 20 years, we've welcomed new classes of students into our community here at GUQ. I was honored to be here just a couple of weeks ago to celebrate this campus's 20th anniversary with all of you. It was a wonderful event, and I noted then in our gatherings that we at Georgetown envision GUQ as a new kind of academic community to help serve the country, the region, and indeed our world. We were able to realize that vision because of dedicated leadership throughout these years. So many individuals, from Dean Masri now in the Dean's office here at Education City, to our deeply committed partners across Qatar. I thank you all for your presence this afternoon and your meaningful engagement with Georgetown. I'd also like to thank our faculty who are behind me, who through their collective commitment to excellence and scholarship, to teaching and to service, they have welcomed you, our students, into a lifelong process of learning and discovery. And to our staff at GUQ. As the students know, our staff has worked tirelessly alongside our faculty every day to guide, mentor, and to support your journeys here. I thank our faculty and staff for all they've done to form these classes of graduates. And to our families who are seated behind us, we're deeply honored by your presence. We're humbled by the trust that you have placed in us at Georgetown. Thank you for trusting Georgetown with your student during their years of study. We are deeply in your debt. And for those who live only in our memories now, in this time of conflict and death and destruction, we honor and remember them and all that they mean to each of us. And we pray deeply, daily, for an end of the suffering throughout the world. Universities aspire to play a unique role in societies around the world. They are devoted to nurturing the minds and the spirits of the next generation of leaders. And to do this, they must actively support another mission, the expansion of human knowledge. They seek to engage students in active problem solving that is inherent in research. They build environments where alternative perspectives thrive. Alternative perspectives thrive because only in such environments can learning take place. At Georgetown, we add to that mix an immersion in a set of values. Respect for the inherent human dignity of all, the value of building a diverse community on all dimensions of humanity, to promote dialogue among different perspectives, support for asking the important questions facing humanity, empathy for the less fortunate than ourselves, and learning how best to be what we call people for others. And the Jesuits, whose legacy we continue, perform these duties for the greater glory of God. One of the most important ways that we realize these commitments by engaging in what our mission teaches us. Our mission statement says, serious and sustained discourse among people of different faiths, cultures, and beliefs lead to intellectual, spiritual, and ethical understanding. This is what we aspire to do at Georgetown. And we are at our best as a university when we allow ourselves to encounter challenging new ideas, when we engage in dialogue with people across different backgrounds, when we build bridges of understanding. This is our role in society, even more so at this challenging moment for our global community. Why, you might ask, do we do this in Doha? Of course, the foresight of Her Highness Sheikh Moza bint Nasser is one important answer. But over time, we've also learned something, that the brightest students of their generation are choosing to come to GUQ. They come from around the world. They represent many countries. They represent many faiths and many cultures. They learn both from our faculty, but also from one another. And as the years go by, our graduates are forming a global network of international affairs professionals, advancing humanity in all sectors of society. We are delighted to continue our service to Qatar through GUQ. Each of you, our newest graduates, are uniquely equipped to live out this role as you prepare to enter this world. You've received a truly global education, grounded in a set of values, a commitment to engagement, to dialogue, and a respect for human dignity, sustained over many generations. In moments of quiet reflection and engaged discussion, we hope you've developed a deeper understanding of your own strengths, how you can best meet challenges, a sense of what brings you the most meaning in life, what truly matters to you. And in the recent months and years, you've confronted difficult and unexpected challenges, including moments of tragic suffering for which you especially have a profound understanding. Throughout all of this, you have persevered, you have continued, you have achieved. This is the essence of our mission as a university, and this is the essence of the work that the world needs from you right now. As I look around this room with students from many nationalities, with faculty from around the world, with partners who share our commitment to this mission, I am filled with hope and confidence about how each of you can carry out this work. Class of 2025, it is an honor and a privilege to share this day with you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Groves. Now, and thank you for the DC campus's commitment to our presence over here, for the vision and the leadership and the continuous support that we get. Now, please stand and join the class of 2025 in singing the Alma Mater, this year being led by the Georgetown Commencement Choir. You will find the words and music on the last page of the program, which, given the bilingual structure, means right in the middle of the booklet. Following the Alma Mater, please remain standing for the benediction, which will be offered by Father Ryan Maher of the Society of Jesus, Hope Director of Catholic Studies and Chief Administrative Officer of the Georgetown University Jesuit Community.
Hail, Georgetown alma mater, swift Potomac's lovely daughter, ever watching by the waters, smiles on us today. Now her children gather round her, lo, with garlands they have crowned her, reverent hands and fond and round her with the blue and gray. Wave her colors ever, furl her standards never, but raise it high and proudly cry, may Georgetown live forever. Where Potomac's tide is streaming from her spires and steeples gleaming, see the grand old banner gleaming, Georgetown's blue and gray.
As we bring our ceremony to a close, let us pray. Good and loving God, we come to you today with gratitude. You call each of us to be part of this community at Georgetown, blessing us with the educational legacy that began with Ignatius of Loyola and has passed from generation to generation. You call us to stand in solidarity and kinship with all who share our journey on earth. And you invite us to live lives of active service, rooted in social justice and love. Help us to build on the wisdom of the past with a vision open to the opportunities of the future. Dare us to move beyond what is known and secure, broadening our imagination and deepening our trust in you. Fill us with wonder and awe as we receive these gifts with open minds, generous hearts, and passionate spirits. As our graduates move to the next stage of our journey in life, and we prepare ourselves for the coming year ahead, we ask you, Lord, to hear this simple prayer. When we are weak, be our strength. When we doubt, be our faith. When we are anxious, be our peace. When we are discouraged, be our hope. And when we are lost, come and find us. When we are in darkness, be our light. And when we are sad, be our comfort and our joy. Grant us this, Lord, as we call upon your holiness to fill our lives with love and grace. Amen.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Father Maher. You almost don't want this to end, right? This has been an incredibly momentous occasion for all of us. It is bittersweet for all of us who have gotten to know you. I've gotten to know you over the past couple of years, and I feel like my children are leaving home. So we are proud of you. We've given you wings to fly, but it still makes us a bit sad, as proud as we are, to see you soar. We wish you Godspeed. We thank Your Excellency once again for gracing us with your presence and with your words. We thank you, Your Excellency, also Minister of Education and Higher Education, and all of the dignitaries who came here to celebrate this moment. My thanks always go to my colleagues, the faculty and staff who do all the work that make this possible. We love you. We will wish you well. We will always count you as members of the family. Now, as we conclude, please remain in your seats and keep the aisles clear until the platform party and the graduates have recessed and have returned to the stage for the class photo. The 2025 commencement exercises of Georgetown University in Qatar School of Foreign Service are now officially closed. May Georgetown live forever.
thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you next year. Yeah.
This is so quick. The stage is already done.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're so quick.
Yeah, it's the weekend, you know.